Welcome to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. I'm Kendra Woods, your host, and a former corporate healthcare executive turned entrepreneur. After battling burnout, I discovered the magic of human design. As a 6'2" splenic projector, I am here to lead you on a journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, and unstoppable growth. So join me as we dive into the world of human design, mindset, energetics, and aligned success. We will talk about the highs and the lows of creating soulful and meaningful success in your life and business on your terms. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. This is Kendra Woods, your host, and I'm super excited today because we have someone really special who is here with us today. And we are going to be sharing with you about our human design school. So I have here with me my business partner and co-founder of our human design school, Michelle René Robinson. So I'm going to let her say hello to everyone, and then we're going to get into this episode.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for the invite, partner. It is always a great time when we get together and talk about human design. And it's a very exciting time and thrilled to be here. And I'm ready.
Good. Me too.
Yes.
All right. So before we get into this, I do want to just send out some gratitude. I want to send out gratitude for you right now, the person who is listening to this episode. I want to thank you so much for listening. Thank all of you for listening. And I want to just give a special shout out to one of our listeners of the podcast. Her name is Stephanie Z. She left an amazing review on the podcast, and I want to share this with you. She says, Kendra is an incredible host, generously sharing her wealth of knowledge about human design and how it can support us in living our purpose. If you're seeking soul-based success on your terms, I can't recommend this podcast highly enough. You all, it does my heart so good to read these comments and to know that you are receiving valuable insights and guidance and inspiration and encouragement from these episodes that I do. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have a thought that you want to share, we encourage you to leave us a 5-star review and or a rating, I should say, and then write a review. Let me know your thoughts, even if it's just to say, hey, Kendra, you're doing great, or hey, love the show. It is so appreciated. And it also helps to get the message out to more people about this amazing system of human design. So with that, we are going to be sharing with you today all about our human design school called the Reader's Path School of Human Design Wisdom. And I know that you have heard me talk about this kind of, in my conversation with you here on the podcast. And we thought we would do an episode just dedicated to the school because it is very, very special to both myself and Michelle René. And we wanted to share with you details about it, how it came about, our vision for the school, and why we would love to have you join us in this next cohort. So, Michelle René, I'm going to let you kick us off here and ask you to kind of just share a little bit of your background and your journey with human design and your perspective or your experience of how we came together to birth this school.
Oh, wow. I love, of course, human design. And I had just was in the early stages of starting my business, the Seven Jewels, and I just needed something. And I was on a retreat in Seattle, and I was introduced to human design. And it was just a little bit like, first of all, here's your body graph. This is your incarnation cross and some centers. I knew I was a projector, just very basic. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What am I doing? And with that, I started seeking out teachers, looking for someone who could mentor me, teach me human design. And back then, I think this was like 2017, 2018. And there wasn't a lot of people, it's not like like if we remember phone books, you're opening up the phone book to see, oh, here's human design. Excuse me. And so I was on the internet and I, searched and I found someone and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Signed up and I was sent like a PDF. And that was the first, and I was like, oh, okay. And it grew from there. But for me, Kendra and I both work in a community together. We coach business and human design. And I just needed that community aspect.
Mm.
I wanted, even though I was a beginner, I wanted to know how I could use this in my business. And I just was like, oh my gosh, my entire world had just turned around and around. Like, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm sorry, how about that? Do not disturb, not working. Okay, but I wanted basic but usable information. And I wanted it in a group. I wanted to be with other people who shared the same interests that I did in a group and to be able to talk through it and just, be part of the experience. And even though I was a beginner, there were things that I was like, oh, I was just like really going in depth with.
Mhm.
And I knew that, when this possibility, when everything out back, I mean, it's almost been a year now with myself and Kendra saying, yeah, we need to do this. We really need to do this. That to be able to start off, even as a beginner, and we'll talk more about this in our, about the school, but you could be a beginner and probably consider yourself an expert and still get an amazing experience with the way that we are have developed the school. And I really was wanting that I could take this out. Okay, I've been in this class maybe for a month, especially when it comes down to business, and be able to use it in my business to
Mhm.
help me build my business. So that is, some of the beginnings of where my love of human design, started. It just was knowing more about myself and then being able to take this out to other women and help them to know themselves better, for them to be more authentic in what they do, how they live, how they work, relate, etc. So yeah, that's
Yes.
uh, without
I
going
love
through everything.
right, right. I know because there's more we can dig
Yes.
into, right?
Yes.
Oh gosh. I love that. And I think I share your our stories are different in how we came across human design, but what we share in that is understanding this how it opened our eyes to how we are designed and then having that enthusiasm and that drive to go, oh my gosh, like I want more people to know this because it's so eye-opening, right?
Right.
So for me, it was something that I was always say like human design found me, like I was invited into this. And it kept coming up with a friend of mine. We would connect and do our business accountability calls, and she just kept bringing up human design. And the third time she said it, because she kept telling me, Kendra, you have to go check it out. You've got to go look at this and blah, blah, blah. And here's what it is. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. I'm shaking my head, I'm like, all right. She brings it up again. I'm still like, that's great. Good for you. Like I'm excited for her. And then by the third time, she was like, look, we're
Right.
going to do this right now. I need you to go pull your chart. You're putting your birth information
Mhm.
and go pull your chart. And so I did. And it was interesting because I pulled my chart and I said to her, I said, oh, I've done this before. But what I done is I pulled my chart. It looked like Greek to me.
Mhm.
I was like, I
Right.
don't know what this is. Like I just put it in a file and kept it moving, right?
Right.
And so anyway, learned I was a projector and then went down the rabbit hole to learn like, well, what does it mean to be a projector? What does this mean for me? And bought a book and read from cover to cover. And I felt so seen. I truly understood like why I burned out in corporate, right? I understood why, I could just see things in people and know things, but really didn't have this logical, like, oh, here's how I know this
Right.
type of explanation. And it was so eye-opening. And so just like you, I was like, all right, I need to learn this. Like, I need to actually be educated, like step by step. What am I looking at here? What does this mean? And found a school, got certified, and began to really, use this information on myself.
Right.
So, okay, Kendra, you're a projector. So what do I need to now align with, right? Where am I misaligned and what do I get to align with? And from that, just begin to see so many new things opening up for myself that I thought, yeah, more people need to know about this. Like, I need to bring this into my work because it's such a concrete representation for the women that I work with to show them like this is you. These are your gifts. This is how your energy is designed to work. Yeah, you
Mm,
may have some challenges here, and this is why this is showing up, but here's how you can align with your true self.
mm,
And this has been amazing. And so I think when you and I came together, Michelle Renee, it was like we both had this shared passion of wanting to have a school.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then finally was like, you know what? We're going to do
Yeah.
this. Like, let's just stop
Right.
talking about it and let's do it.
Right. Yeah. I remember, I think it was like September, October. I'll have
Mhm.
to look at my journal, but yes. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is happening.
Mhm.
This is going to happen. Yes. Yeah. Mm.
We're excited. So,
Yeah. Mm.
so we began this journey. We decided we were going to create this beautiful school. Like you said, we've been at this now for over almost a year
Hmm.
together, right? Doing this.
Right.
So, and we named the school the Reader's Path, right? School of Human Design Wisdom. And two parts. One part, we definitely knew that one of the intentions we wanted to hold is that we would teach human design in a way that was different than any other way it's been taught to
Right.
equip women to know how to feel confident and be confident in reading human design charts and not just reading it and seeing the information, but then how to actually support themselves and their
Right.
clients and their businesses and how to actually live the design, take it off the paper.
Right. Exactly.
Um, and then also unlock the wisdom
Hmm.
that's there, right?
Mm. Yeah. Wow.
So it's gosh, we can go on and on, you all, but we want to give you kind of like a behind the scenes look at okay, what's in the school, right? What's the curriculum look like? What does it mean? How is it laid out? And so we're going to go into kind of giving you an overview of like what the curriculum looks like, the structure, what the modules are, and how you will be uniquely equipped and qualified to
Mm.
actually begin sharing this with other
Right.
people
Right. As you go.
as you right
Right.
as you go.
I think week by week, you will
Hmm.
be able to share something profound.
Hmm.
I can say that because human design just does not disappoint. It is just so awe-inspiring. You will want to tell everyone,
Hmm.
what more you've learned. Even
Yes.
if you know the system,
Yes.
you will say, here's another layer. Yeah.
Do
Mm.
you, I'm gonna go like gonna go to my left over here for a second and then we're gonna get back. But do you find yourself, Michelle Renee, when you're engaging with people, do you find yourself at this point like listening for their human design chart?
Yes.
Like, you're
All
right?
the time. Yes. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Let me get my phone out and go to my
Yes.
my genetic matrix and let me see if I'm right. Just, and without, I'll do like a 12 p.m. and like
Mhm.
a morning and a night
Right.
because I'm like, I know how old you are. I know,
Right.
birthday, etc. And even
Right.
for people that I don't know their birth dates, I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. A little
Yeah.
crispy around the edges, huh? Burned out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And you can hear, I love that because like you can hear people like speak their charts, like when you really begin to understand the system. And to me, there's nothing more fulfilling, right? When I know that I hear what someone's saying and I know in that moment, oh my gosh, I know where this is coming from. I know why this is a pattern for you. I
Mhm.
know how I could actually help you break this pattern, right? Because you can hear them speak in their design. And it's just so empowering as a guide, as a mentor, as a healer to be able to have this skill set where you're
Right.
not just like talking in circles trying to figure out what the root is.
Right.
You can just, you
Right.
hear it, you know it.
Yeah, and you'll know the questions to ask.
Mhm,
Excuse me. You will absolutely, as you progress, you will know questions to ask, how to ask them.
mhm,
You will know and look for those responses. You
mhm.
will know.
Yes.
You'll look at someone's frustration, someone's bitterness, and be like, hmm.
Yeah. And how to guide them out of that, right? Because that's why people come to us and want to work with us is because they're feeling some kind of challenge, right? Or yeah, they're feeling a challenge. Like they want to rise to their next level and they're like, but this is in my way and that's in my way. And I want to create and have this big grand vision, but I'm just so burned out and tired and not motivated and da 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 da. So to be able to help someone shift out of that in a way that is concrete, in
Mm-hmm.
a way that is tangible, it
Affirming.
affirming,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it really shifts the trajectory for people's, path and their direction. And I know you and I both, like we're all about like how can we like have an impact and make a difference in women's lives.
Right. And we
Yeah.
want
So
everyone to be successful, to be happy, healthy, whole, know how to, at times maneuver, relationships, possibly, or, make better decisions that are more aligned with yourself and your business,
mhm.
not chasing after something that's not yours, understanding your energies and those that are coming from the outside and managing your energy.
Yes. Oh, so powerful. So when you join us inside of the school, you're going to go on a 10-month journey with us. All right.
Mhm.
We're going to be right there with you. And we have the curriculum broken down into 4 modules. And so we're just going to give you a quick walkthrough of what these modules are. So, module 1 starts out with number 1, understanding the history of human design, right? You need to understand the context of like what it is, where it came from, how it's created, and then type and strategy and authority. Those are the big pieces. And so, after you complete module 1, guess what? Like you get to take that and do a level 1 reading
Mhm.
for someone.
Right. And that's 6 weeks. The modules, yes, that first one is 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be able to dive deep into your type and strategy, how to coach that type,
Mm-hmm.
how, living, your strategy and your authority, knowing what that feels like, what it looks like, and being able to just smoothly transfer that over if you have a business to your clients,
Mm-hmm.
or in your relationships to know, oh, hey, this is where, I need to do some work, or, maybe we need to do this work together as a couple, or, as a parent, you would know that, hey, you've learned all the types, all the strategies, all the authorities. And we know that whoever you're around, you're probably pulling their body graphs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hmm.
And here's what you're going to be doing too, because again, it's more than just us sharing the information with you. We are going to have you after each module, you're going to be doing like case studies, right? And practicums where you are, just like Michelle René said, you are going to pull the charts of
Right.
like your family, kids, friends, all that good stuff. And then those are going to be the things that the charts and the body graphs that you get to use to help you deepen and develop your knowledge even more around type and strategy and authority, right? And then through that, being able to, again, offer that guidance, right? If it's something that you decide to do, or even like shift the way in which you are in relationship with other people, because you're going to know what that person needs, what motivates them, right? How to take your energy and have it commingle with their energy in a way that's empowering and uplifting.
Hmm. And even in relationship, with your business,
Mm-hmm.
because some people who are like dread going to work, or oh my goodness, this is so mundane, or what have you. Knowing in this 6 weeks, foundational, could help you really get moving
Yes.
in your business already, or possibly this is, something that you may be doing, on the side or what have you. I'm just going to do, readings at this point, which
Mm-hmm.
could be lucrative for you. Really
Absolutely.
could.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have, after that 6 weeks of module one, then we move into module two.
Mm.
And module two, this is where it gets really juicy, right? Because we are going to be moving through and teaching you about all 9 of the centers,
Mm-hmm.
all 64 of the gates, um, all 6 of the lines, all 12 of the profiles.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have definition in this one too? I think we have definition in
We
module
do. We have
two, right?
2 weeks of definition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Two
this
weeks.
is where, yeah, where it gets really, really
Yeah.
juicy and really fun and deep.
Yes. I mean, just the centers. Well, I'm a Gates person. I love
I
Gates.
know.
But yeah, lines also. 4 weeks on profiles. Oh my gosh. That
Mhm.
is, yes, very, yes. It's an
Mhm.
all yes for me. And then you will have, a couple of weeks of integration where you can go and say, hey, let me see how I can use this out here. How do I integrate this into myself,
Mhm.
my environment, possibly my business? So you'll have in between some of these lessons where you'll have a whole week of just really saying, wow, I can do this. Or this
Yes.
is how, I need to align myself with this. Because
Mhm.
of course, you're going to be the student of yourself. You'll be
Yes.
your own case study. So
Hmm.
you'll be, really digging deep into your body graph. Well, all of them are great modules,
Yeah,
is knowing that,
I
yes.
know. There's so much goodness. But yes, like you, I love that you mentioned that you go first because I think we both share that mindset of like as leaders, we go
Mm-hmm.
first, right? That's exactly what you and I did, Michelle Renee, when we first came into
Right.
contact with human design. It's like we went first. We were like, oh, okay,
Right.
this is amazing. We love it. All right, who can we learn from? Like what book do we need to read? What do we
Right.
need to do? And we went first and
Mhm.
began integrating, our designs and aligning with our designs. And we saw the impact that it was making like in our businesses, right? In our relationships and our own well-being, right? How we felt in our energy and how, the vitality that we felt. So by going first, that allows you to, when you're working with your clients or using this in your business, you're truly coming from a place of like experiential wisdom and the intellectual
Right.
knowledge. You put those two together,
Mhm.
transformation all the live long
Right.
day,
Right.
right? So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
oh gosh.
Absolutely. Because you will just know to the core. I mean, this module here with your centers and gates, lines, definition. Wow. Yeah.
And we break it down for you because it's a lot. When you look at a human design, like there's a lot of information there, and so it is important to we break it apart for you so you can learn it right
Hmm.
in the parts, and then support you in bringing it together in a cohesive way, right? Like really looking at the story that it
Right.
tells. So after module two is completed, you will then be equipped and qualified to do a level two reading.
Yes.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're not only talking about the person's type and strategy and authority, you can go deeper with them and
Mm-hmm.
really talk, intelligently about their gates, about their centers, about their profile, about their definition
Mm-hmm.
to further, fill out their story. And then, we move into module three. And module three is, we talk about circuitry. So we're talking about all the different, there's 3 different like main circuits, right? But then within each of those three, there's these sub-circuits of energy that we're going to be talking about. And we're going to get into the channels, which are 36 channels in human design. So we're going to be going through all of that in module 3 and going deep into that.
3 months on
3 months.
circuitry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a deep dive.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is. I mean, but and the thing about it is that it almost seems like, oh my gosh, it's so much information. But it is that muscle, that brain muscle that is like, oh gosh, it's starting off with the first 6 weeks with, type, strategy, authority, and you are like, okay. And it just keeps building, and that muscle gets stronger, and you're able to take more in and really just, consume and digest.
Mhm. Yeah. You build your capacity, right? Like
Right,
your
right,
capacity for how you're able to interpret this
mm,
amazing information, like just builds and builds. It's like you're becoming more skilled.
right,
And
exactly.
again, that's what leaders do. We continue to learn. We
Hmm.
continue to learn. We continue to increase refine our craft, learn new skills,
Hmm.
all of
And,
that.
and I love the fact
Um,
that after this module, you'll be able to do a level 3. And the way that, I mean, and it's different levels as far as your pricing too.
Hello.
Yeah. Because you're getting, into life cycle, soul, essence. Uh, so it's, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And then our last module for you is we're going to get into the planets.
Hmm.
And then we're going to get into what we call the variables, or you may hear it called like the primary health system. Or if you're looking at a chart, we're talking about the arrows that are
Right.
at the top of the chart, because those also provide deep information
Right.
into like the motivations of an individual, and how they take in information, how they learn, how their
Right.
mind works, right?
Right.
So I'm really hoping that you all can understand that human design is not just oh, this is great. Like we have
Mhm.
the types and we have the planets and all this, but it really digs deep into like the cellular foundation of who you are as a human being, the
Mhm.
energetic DNA of who you
Right.
are.
Right. And
Um,
and this is last, because you really need to be aware of your authority, your strategy. This is, more like the steak, possibly even the lobster, with, oh my goodness, let me just really try and, get, all the goodness out of here, because it's your digestion, environment, awareness, perspective. And this is how you best receive information.
mhm,
Okay. Just think about knowing, the environment that is best, for me. What is my best view of things?
mhm.
And so this is really in depth. This is a very, a level 4 reading is, can catapult somebody into, I really know what's going on here.
Mhm.
I know what's best for me, what's best for myself, for my business, etc. So it's really intentional, with knowing that you've mastered your strategy,
Yep.
the living according to your authority, and adding variables in is just so next level.
Yes.
It really is. It
It's like
really is.
the icing on the cake. And I really love like because we get into one of the things I love like about my design, like my environment is mountains, right? And when I really understood that, I thought, oh my gosh, no wonder I love being in plains, right? Like,
Yeah.
no wonder I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go skydive. That feels great,
Mhm.
right? Like, no wonder I love like beautiful high-rise buildings. No wonder I like being out at the beach where it's just like this vast, like
Mhm.
everything's open and I can see it. And so just knowing that little piece in and of itself,
Mhm.
obviously needed to do the beginning aspects,
Right.
but now that I'm more like masterful at this. I know, and I'm like, okay, so things aren't clicking for me. Let me go to the beach, or
Mhm.
let me go downtown to like one of the co-working spaces that has a third floor. Let me go up there and get inspired, you know?
Right.
So
It's a
it's
true
powerful.
affirmation.
Mhm.
It really is. That this is what you should, this is where you excel. This is where you are most comfortable.
Mhm.
And yeah, just knowing some of these things, just, and it's not a just, I should stop that, but it really affirms who you are, that I know who I am. I know this is for me. And it takes out all of the noise that, no, that's not for me. I know who I am. So I can really optimize, my feelings, my business, my relationships, etc., how I raise my kids,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm.
goodness, if I would have known I was a projector
Mm.
and not a generator,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
my business at one time was like I would work maybe 4 months out of the year.
Mm. And you were working hard during those 4 months. It's going,
I
going,
worked like a generator.
going.
I did. And then I would be burned out the rest of the year.
Mm.
I would go to gift shows and buy things, etc., for the business. But I couldn't, like go and man a booth, at a gift show. I could go and shop,
Mhm.
but I just about 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It really shifts who you be in the world,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
you be. And I would love for all of you all to hear this. Your results that you desire in your business, in your life, in your relationships, in your money,
Hmm.
in all areas of your life comes down to who you are being.
Right.
If you are not being a woman who is energetically congruent with the things that you desire, then you just keep getting the same results over and over again, which makes you feel frustrated, bitter,
Right.
disappointed,
Right.
angry, right?
Yeah.
So your design, your human design is like your roadmap to show you like, hey, here's how you can show up and be
Mhm.
exactly who you were designed to be. Here's how you actually, unlock your potential. Here's your
Right.
gifts. Right, here are the things you're great at. Here's how you're designed to show up, and you begin to do that, and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, I didn't even know all these things were possible because
Right.
you have had the veil lifted off your eyes, and now you're like, oh, this is me.
Right. And this is like, I love this. I
Mhm.
love knowing who I am, who
Yeah.
I am being. There is love and joy right in that body graph for you. Because once you know, this is how I be the best. This is how it is. It's right here in your body graph. And just the opportunity to be able to share that with the world, your family, your community. I mean, what's not to love about
A
that?
blessing. It
Mhm.
is.
It is.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Mhm.
So we broke down all the modules for you, right? 4 modules. We're with you the whole time. You have hands-on, you get to, this is hands-on learning, right?
Mhm.
You can also be earning while you are learning because we told you at
Exactly.
each stage, okay, here you're qualified to do a level 1 reading, here you're qualified to do a level 2 reading. You can charge people, right? You can charge
Right.
people for that. So you can be making money while you are learning and growing and acquiring this new skill.
Right.
So right now, at the airing of this podcast, the doors to our school are open,
Mhm.
and diamond pricing, which is like our most like amazing pricing for the school, is in full effect. It's currently $8,500
Mhm.
for enrollment into our school, and that comes with some really amazing bonuses.
Yes. That's from August 14th through the 23rd. And the bonuses for the first 3 students will be 3 private coaching calls with myself and Kendra. Yes.
Yes. I mean, I'm just gonna say this real quick.
Mhm.
You all, please hear this.
Mhm.
If you were to combine the rate of my private coaching investment rate and Michelle Renee's, that in one session
Mhm.
covers your cost of intuition, your investment for intuition in the school.
Mhm.
So having
Mhm.
one-to-one guidance from two projectors, and I'm not saying this from like an ego place, I'm saying this from a, oh my gosh, look at
Mhm.
the value that and the opportunity that is here for you to really have the support
Right.
to get where it is that you want to be. All right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's priceless. It
Mhm.
really is. There's also a human design blueprint of your body graph included in that. Kendra's Pearls of Wisdom course
Mhm.
and my Embody Your Voice course. And it's it's almost, that's I think the sales thing of me, that it's really hard for me to, I'm not a hardcore salesperson or anything like
Right.
that. I just feel like, if this is something that just is really speaking to you, on this part of your journey, those are great bonuses. Absolutely great bonuses. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So, with that being said, as you're listening to this, the link to view the page that really lays out more about the school, it's going to be in the show notes. So, even if you're just curious, I want to invite you, just go take a look at the invitation page. Go read through it. Go feel into it for yourself and really tap into like what does it feel like in your body, right? I want you to tap into that excitement, that like that adventure, that oh my gosh, like what if that be in that energy. Go read the sales page, and we invite you to reach out to us. You'll have our information in the show notes. Once again, you can reach out, say, hey, I have questions. And then once you decide that you want to move forward, you are in for such a treat. So we invite you to do that. We'll put the links below. And then before we sign out today, really quickly, I want to remind everybody our Align and Thrive workshop is happening right now, actually, because at the recording of this, the Align and Thrive workshop is on its third day. But if you still feel like you want to be a part of it, it's not too late. It is not too late. You can still sign up. The recordings are going to be up in the group for a moment, so you can go back and binge watch all the amazing content. And this is kind of like your appetizer
Yeah.
to what it's like to learn from myself and Michelle René and the type of environments that we create and how we teach. So come join us. That link for that will also be available. It's not too late. And come have some fun with us in
Mhm.
that space.
Yes, and I just wanted to add that we will have 2 live calls a week.
Mm. Yes.
Okay. We have 2 live calls a week. One is, on the lesson, and then the other one is part of the lesson and community building. So 2 live calls of that.
Yeah. We're
Mhm.
excited. We're excited, if you can't tell.
No, it's great work,
It is.
or it's joy
Mm-hmm.
to be able to share
Mm-hmm.
and, guide,
Yeah.
share the wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
This is, your legacy.
Yeah.
This is a
And
legacy building class.
And that's what we are about, you all. It is, I feel like in the times that we live in right now and where we are in the world, it's like women,
Hmm.
for us women, it's not about hoarding the information. Oh, this is just for me and no one else can know this.
Mhm.
No, because leaders lift each other up, right? Leaders
Yes.
share what they know.
Mhm.
Leaders encourage and educate others and say, hey, sis, come on, let me help you with this. Let me show you what this gets to look like. Let me tell you what I've learned. Oh, you know what? I know a woman that does this and can help you with this. And oh, I know a way. This is how we build our individual legacies, we build them together in collaboration, in sisterhood, rising up together.
Right.
That this is what this is about, right? It's more than just like a school where like, oh, I'm getting my certification, in human design. It is more than that.
Mm.
This is about your future.
Exactly. And the future of the world, because we
Yeah.
need women like us, like you, to shine,
Mhm.
to share your gift.
Mhm. And be equipped to be equipped. If you are not equipped with the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, if you're not equipped, then you're like at the mercy of just like whatever is happening around you. You're just like, oh, well,
Right.
this is happening to me versus, okay, this is happening for me. I know how to navigate this. I know how to show up. I know how to manage my energy. I know how to make bold decisions. I know how to make decisions that are right for me. I know how to say no and let that be a complete sentence. I know how to show up in my business and be the leader that I'm designed to be. I know how to help my clients do the same thing. I mean, there is a certainty and a confidence that comes with this when you truly understand yourself and know yourself and are able to then reach out your hand and help another woman understand and
Right.
learn herself on a more intimate and deep level.
Yes.
So, all right, we are not going to turn this into a sermon, y'all.
Oh,
All
amazing.
right.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, Michelle René, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for this conversation. We hope that you've enjoyed our conversation today and that you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about the Reader's Path School of Human Design Wisdom. And we are excited to welcome you into this space and to walk alongside you on your journey of growth and transformation and to support you in keeping your crown straight as a queen, right?
Yeah.
And moving forward.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So this has been a blast. Thank you for being here. And remember to go out in the world and create soulful success from your soul on your terms. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Soulful Success by Design. If you enjoyed our conversation and found value in it, please leave a rating and review on iTunes to help me continue bringing more inspiring content your way. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Soulful Success by Design or visit my website at kendrakWoods.com for extra inspiration and resources. I appreciate you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Until then, remember to create success from your soul and on your terms.